AngelLaCiencia.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today's topic is going to be about wrestling, but specifically, today is September 29th, right? This date marks the day that I start my first day of training as a professional wrestler. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about my experiences so far as a professional wrestler, where I see myself in the future, and so forth and so forth. So as of last year, I know there was days ago, a couple of weeks ago, probably a couple of weeks ago prior, is when I was just sitting at home playing video games or whatnot, and I decided to make probably what I would say the biggest decision that I've ever made in my life, and that was to become a pro wrestler. And fast forwarding maybe a couple of weeks or days ahead is when I started my first day of training. So my first day of training was pretty dope. It felt natural to me because everything I was learning, even if it's basics, but even though you can still mess up on the basics, but even with the basics, it felt just natural to just sit there and learn and adapt to the environment. It's like it's like you have like a chip in your brain, or where you just send off all of this data and you just learn with the quick flash and stuff like that. So everything just came so natural, and I was sitting there and I was learning, especially when you had like good trainers and good other people to help you along with the process as well. But that first day was outstanding, and from that point on, it really didn't take me but a month to have my first match, which was at EPPW in West Virginia. They were doing a show for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and some other things. It was kind of like a little mini small festival, but other than that, that was where I started my actual first debut match ever. Triple threat match against Eric Ecton and Manic, if I can remember if that was his name. Eric Ecton won the match, but that's okay, because my first instincts coming in wasn't about wins or losses. It was more of how I was going to fare in my performance. Because when you're going out there for the first time, you don't know how the crowd or the fans are going to react to you. Or just, not even fans, just people. Because they're not your fans just yet until you do something to give them a reason. So it was more of what really is going on in their heads when they see somebody like me. Like, what is he gonna do to interest me? How am I gonna invest in this person or this character? What is he gonna do that's different from other people? Why should I like him and be a fan, or whatever the case may be? It wasn't like a big thing to worry about, but it's just one of the small things that I was worrying about, what I was going to do as far as like my first match, because new kid on the block. Nobody know who this guy is. Nobody know who this guy is. And plus, I really didn't have ring gear. I just remember just me being shirtless with like some sports trunks, like basketball trunks or like shorts, and some wrestling shoes and stuff. Because I didn't know on that day that I was going to get my first match. And that was also the first lesson to wherever you go, bring your gear, because you don't know what's going to happen, just in case. So yeah, triple threat match. Of course, Eric Ecton won. And it was pretty cool. Nothing more to say. It was just pretty cool. Like I said, I was more worried about the performance, but not too much, because as soon as I got in the ring, everything just felt natural. Like I said, with training, I was more in a comfortable space. So I can say how I was going to deliver to the fans. But as far as like performing in the ring, that's where I really wasn't worried about, because I felt as though I was going to be, okay in that aspect of just entertaining them. But from that point, let's say, let's see. From that point, starting around late October, November, I have been to other promotions. As far as C3W, I've been to two UCWs. One is Urban Combat Wrestling. Can't remember the other one. Cold Red Wrestling, C3W, Fight Pro. If you have seen me on Fight Pro, EWA, uh, ATCW, um, and I've been some other promotions. If I can't remember their name, or they probably just hosted the show, but I've been to other places. But due to COVID, I'm quite sure I could have did more bookings, but since we're in under the circumstances that we are in right now, it kind of messed that up. But I'm quite sure if we didn't have all of this going on, I probably would have had more bookings. But other than that, with all of those promotions under my belt, it's a good start for me, especially a good start for a newcomer. And you never know, some other promoters who have heard about you might want to have you on their show as well. So there's endless possibilities of what can happen for you. But I will say, uh, one good point, or one thing that I'm so proud of so far since I started. There was a C3W show in December. Can't remember the name of the show, but I do remember this very well in this day. Uh, this was a day that I had a triple threat match against a beloved, um, gracious, and amazing friend in the director Christopher Andino, a brother of mine. Uh, we had a triple threat match. It was me, him, and a third person named Ob Times. Sorry if I botched the name, but at times I see it, I can't really pronounce it, what it looks like, and it's just like whatever. So yeah, had the match. Christopher Andino wins, of course, but wasn't worried about wins or losses either, because what was most important to me, that I had people coming out to watch me perform. So I had friends, I had like a couple co-workers from my last job that I just left some months ago, and also family members. So when you have all of that, it was more of so performing well for them, especially when I had my sister, my mother, and my nephew, my aunt, and cousins there. It was more important that they get to see a different side of me that they're not usually seeing on a typical daily basis. So for me, performing for them live was the absolute best moment so far that I've had ever since I started this whole shindig. So just having your mother coming up and saying you did a very good job, and your sister saying the same thing and stuff, even though my nephew was pretty much paying attention to the toy that I bought him, because there was a guy that was selling toys there. But yeah, other than that was a pretty dope moment as well. um but as far as my experience so far, as I started last year, it's been nothing but amazing. And in the future, all I see is getting more fans, um, building up my platform, networking, um, going to different promotions, building better friendships, or building better work relationships with people. So much more. Um, it's just a lot to work from here on out. But if I had to say the pros and cons of it so far, the pros, you get to meet friends if that's your intention. But I know some people like to say don't come into business trying to make friends. But I've already had friends coming in, so I pretty much don't have to worry about it. Because even if I don't make a lot of friends, I still got my friends that I knew way before this. So making friends, you get paid. Even though roughly a lot of people say you're not supposed to get paid your first year, but I have here and there sometimes, and you just got to do what you got to do. But that you get to travel, You get to make fans. You get to sell T-shirts, merchandise, and all of that stuff. The cons, there are like a lot of cons that comes with this, because there can be bad relationships, there can be altercations that can happen, there can be misunderstanding and bad business management. Um, there are a lot of and there's a lot of this going on. People that are just still promoting these wrestlers that are doing foul and the utmost disgusting things behind the scenes of wrestling that I just wish a lot of people would just get rid of, but they don't, because they want to make a quick buck. But other than that, what I will say, if you're trying to get into this business, everything that I just talked about, just know that it's gonna happen. Um, Maybe too often, maybe not a lot of times, but too often when it comes to the pros and cons. But if this is what you really want, then go for it. But other than that, yeah, man, it's just my whole entire year has just been nothing but good things. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this video. You guys already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can get more future content in a second. Go to the comment section down below and give me some ideas or topics that you would like for me to talk about or cover in future videos, and I will do so. And hit those links in the description box below. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and